In some previous videos, I actually mentioned that we were doing a giveaway for the PS4 version of the game. I was just waiting for my collector's edition to show up in the mail, and it finally has, which means that I now have the PS4 version. Well, I've also got a PS5 version, and I have the Steam version that Square Enix provided us. So I'm flush with copies of this game. I only need this, which means I'm going to give this one to one of you. If you want a chance at winning this, please go give us a follow over on Twitter. It's twitter.com or X or whatever the hell you prefer to call it. I'm always going to call it Twitter. I can't stop. Go give us a follow over on Twitter for a chance to win a copy of the PlayStation 4 version of Star Ocean: The Second Story R. Star Ocean: The Second Story R is an exceptional JRPG remake that stands out as one of the best in the genre. Originally released in 1998, this updated version offers a captivating blend of storytelling, gameplay, and enhancements that make it a masterpiece. I want to thank Square Enix for giving us a copy of the game for a chance to play this literal masterpiece. As always on this channel, despite receiving a copy from Square Enix, we're going to talk about the good, the Solace, and the bad, the Dread, and give our review on what I genuinely consider to be the greatest JRPG remake of all time. Before we get into it, I'm Solace, this is Solace and Dread. We produce analytical content as well as reaction videos, primarily focused around Square Enix, Nintendo, and Capcom publications. Before we go any further, we need to talk about the petition for the sequel to this game to be remade by the same people who produced this game. I cannot express enough how much your support helps. Part of the reason that we even got this game is due to fan support and a previous petition. The link is up here, and it's in the pinned comment and in the description. Please help us make this game a reality. Please sign our petition and help bring Star Ocean Blue Sphere R to life. Okay. Back to Star Ocean: The Second Story, or as we're going to call it from here on, Star Ocean 2R. The Solace. The game's narratives is one of its absolute strongest suits. The dual protagonist system, allowing the players to choose between the two main characters, Claude and Reyna, provides a unique perspective on the plot and encourages multiple playthroughs. Not only that, the wide cast of characters encourages that as well. The story is rich, it's filled with intriguing characters, political intrigue, and a fascinating blend of sci-fi and fantasy elements. And without spoilers, the ending is absolutely amazing, with actual stakes, and it's not your cookie-cutter JRPG ending. In a good story, not everything should be sunshine and rainbows, and this game definitely doesn't take the sunshine and rainbows approach to everything. Let's talk about the audio and visual experience. The revamped graphics bring new life to the world of Expel and Need, making the game visually stunning. The attention to detail and the character designs and the environments is amazing, and it offers a nostalgic yet a refreshing experience for fans of the original. I know this look may have been a turnoff to some people, but the mix of 3D environments and 2D sprites from the original game is a beautiful harmony that, frankly, I think bears repeating. I hope to see future remakes of other JRPGs made the same way. We'll be talking more about that in particular on another video very, very soon. Also, having the option to switch between the old music and the newly arranged music is absolutely wonderful. And while people don't talk about this kind of thing much, one of the first things that I ever look for is individual sliders on volumes for background music and voice, etc. And they did it. So if the characters calling out their moves and that sort of thing gets really grating, you can just turn the voices down.
X-Blast! Air Slash!
Southern Cross! Southern Cross!
And also, I think this is an accessibility thing, and I really think that more games should make this a standard. So anytime I see this, I have to call it out with a massive thank you in my heart. Oh, and the combat. The combat is a large portion of the game. It's been refined. It retains that real-time action that made the original stand out, while improving the overall balance and control. Also, it's much flashier and faster. And the casters are actually viable throughout the entire game now that you can skip the animations. Sometimes they're also kind of needed. Not only did they do that, but they gave you the option, and nobody really talked about this, but it's one of my favorite things. They gave you the option to lower your active party size down to 1, regardless of how many members were actually in your party. And I'm super appreciative of that. There were several playthroughs of the original game where I didn't pick up more than 2 or 3 people because I didn't want to be forced to play with more than a certain amount of characters. And now you can have 8 characters in your party, but you really only need to fight with one of them. One of those tiny little attentions to detail that I feel that this game needs more praise for. It's things like that I've never seen in any other JRPG that really just put it on a level that's way higher than anything else I've ever seen. In fact, the menu itself really is where the game shines, and everything therein that sets it apart from the others. That's where so much of the time and energy clearly was spent. Between the skill system, private actions, intricate crafting mechanics, they've all been polished, streamlined, and made more enjoyable, and helped create a more immersive gameplay experience. And furthermore, it's more customizable. This game respects your time like no other JRPG I have ever seen. There's so much flexibility in item creation and the skill system. If you know what you're doing, you can break the game in a matter of hours. And if you didn't see our other video, by the way, a quick tip: training plus scouting plus enlightenment plus bodyguard makes the game's leveling system kind of a cakewalk, but you don't have to use that either. I could talk about the menu systems and the crafting and all of the enhancements that they did for hours, and I just want to make this a more generalized review. But let me just say I'm very, very happy with what Gem Drops did, and that I think is probably Star Ocean 2's strong suit. It's not the visuals or the combat. I really think it's all in the menu, which is kind of crazy to say. Look, this game is good. We know this, but we gotta be fair. So let's talk about the dread. We will start with some of the difficulty changes, and this is an encompassing topic because there's several aspects to it. One, this game is known historically for being quite difficult for a JRPG, and that pretty much goes for nearly all of the entries in the franchise. But that is very much a thing of the past, at least until Endgame. Now, Galaxy Mode offers much less difficulty than its predecessor, and sometimes to its detriment. Universe Mode is a little bit harder, and it will definitely give you pause. But then there's item creation to swing the bat and break the game all over again. Item creation is even more broken in this game than its predecessors, despite some obvious changes from the devs to implement some roadblocks. You can get very, very strong very, very quickly, rendering Universe Mode no different from Galaxy for much of the game, at least until the end. But the beauty of JRPGs is that if you want a manufacture challenge, you can just use worse equipment, not use the broken leveling system. But it would be nice to not feel like you need to add your own challenge in a game that's known for being tough. And it would be even better if you could use all of those skills that the game gives you and the challenge still remain. That would be ideal. Then we're going to talk about New Game Plus, and I'll come out and say it. The way they set up New Game Plus is kind of bad. Picking off level 5 bosses when you're level 255 with all of the best gear in the game just seems kind of silly. And I know that the idea is to give you a quick pass through, but there's zero progression. Even if they just let you keep just your items and equipment or even your skill points, that would make it a better experience. Or obviously what they used to do is they would lock the hardest difficulty behind beating the game once. I would like if they had added a new difficulty challenge. But when you have everything in the game, it's kind of hard to want to go back through, picking up characters who are level 17 and you're strong enough to kill God. But you know, it is useful if you just want to see the endings or see the private actions that you haven't already seen. So it's not entirely bad. And this is actually, in the grand scheme of things, a very small nitpick. But I think that's really my biggest call out is that and the difficulty dilutions. Lastly, some of the new arrangements definitely left me wanting. I know this is a nitpick, and this is 100% my opinion, but I'm very much attached to the originals, and while you can switch back and forth between the new and old music, I really think that Motoi could have done a little better, and I feel like I'm going to get hurt for saying that, but it's not his best work. This guy is a deity among the composers, and I didn't love most of the new arrangements, and for the most part, I preferred the originals. I can't really say that that's an objectively bad thing about the game. Linking everything together, what truly sets Star Ocean: The Second Story R apart is the dedication to preserving the essence of the original while enhancing it for a modern audience. The development team's commitment to staying true to the source material while elevating the game's quality is commendable, and the attention to detail on so many things is kind of insane. However, with the amount of customization and freedom they gave you, it tended to dilute the challenge just a little bit more than you would want. But that's fine. Like I said, if you really want it, you can manufacture your own level of challenge. Star Ocean: The Second Story R is the best JRPG remake, in my humble opinion, of all time, because more than any other I've ever seen, it successfully combines the nostalgia with modern gaming standards. The captivating story, enhanced visuals, refined gameplay, and the unwavering respect for the original make it a must-play for both fans of the classic and newcomers to the series. Listen, the review scores speak for themselves. Frankly, it's the best Star Ocean game, and it's not even close. Anyway, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. And long live the Turtle Kingdom.